Most retirees buying a campervan in 2026 are walking into a financial trap disguised as freedom. The wrong vehicle doesn't just cost money, it ends the entire plan. Problem: here's what's actually happening right now. Retirees walk into dealerships with $60,000, $80,000, sometimes over $100,000. They've done the research, they've watched the tours, they know the brand names. They think they're prepared. They're not. Because the campervan industry in 2026 is engineered to extract maximum money from buyers who don't know what they're actually purchasing. The floor plan sells, the chassis doesn't. The aesthetics close the deal, the drivetrain costs you later. And for retirees specifically, people on fixed income who cannot absorb a $12,000 transmission repair at mile 85,000, the wrong purchase doesn't just hurt financially, it ends the trip permanently. This video covers 5 vehicles, the ones that hold value, resist failure, and don't become a second mortgage on wheels. For each, real used price range, real reliability picture, the hidden cost most buyers never see, and who should walk away, no matter how good it looks on paper. Stay through to the buyer mistake warning. One error costs retirees $10,000 to $20,000 on average. Almost nobody in this industry talks about it. Smart Buyer Framework. Before the vehicles, one rule. The rule that separates buyers who win from buyers who call me 2 years later with a repair bill. Smart buyers in 2026 buy the platform, not the build. Here's why that matters. The interior of any campervan can be replaced. Cabinets, upholstery, appliances, solar systems, all replaceable for $5,000 to $15,000. What cannot be replaced easily is the engine, the transmission, the chassis engineering, the service infrastructure behind it. That's where the money disappears, not in aesthetics, in what's underneath. 3 questions. Ask them before anything else. 1. Is this chassis supported by a national service network in the markets where you actually plan to travel? 2. What is the total cost of ownership at 100,000 miles, not just the purchase price? 3. Does this platform have a documented failure pattern, and at what mileage does it trigger? Can't answer all 3? You are not ready to buy. Now the vehicles. Vehicle 1, Pleasureway Plateau TS, 2019 to 2022. Platform, Mercedes-Benz Sprinter 3500, 3.0-liter V6 turbo diesel, dual rear wheels. Used price range, $74,000 to $105,000. Most buyers overlook this one. That's the opportunity. The Plateau TS sits at the intersection of 2 things this segment rarely delivers in the same vehicle: handcrafted Canadian build quality and Mercedes-Benz commercial chassis engineering. This is the Sprinter 3500 DRW, not the lighter 2500 single rear-wheel configuration most Class B vans use. That distinction matters enormously. The 3500 DRW is built for commercial vehicle standards, lower wear rates, higher payload capacity, structural stability that lighter builds cannot match, especially for full-timers carrying gear, water, and 2 people across thousands of miles. Now here's what dealers won't tell you. Pleasureway backs the Plateau TS with a 5-year Freedom Coach warranty. That is the longest standard warranty in the Class B segment. On a vehicle that retails new at $180,000 to $235,000, a 2019 to 2022 used unit gives you that build quality at a fraction of the financial exposure. The warranty transfers. Verify transfer terms before purchase. Maintenance reliability? High. The 3.0-liter V6 BlueTech diesel in this window is documented past 200,000 miles under proper maintenance. Mercedes Sprinter service coverage across the U.S. is comprehensive. This is not a platform where you get stranded waiting on parts. Biggest hidden cost, and this one surprises almost every buyer: dual rear-wheel tire replacement. A full tire replacement on the Plateau TS DRW runs $2,400 to $3,600. Buyers who budget based on standard van tire pricing get blindsided. Budget for it from day 1, not year 2. Who should not buy it? Buyers who need a tight footprint for urban navigation or narrow campground roads. The Sprinter 3500 DRW is a physical presence. Tight parking structures, narrow city streets, and compact campground loops require planning every single time. Know that before you commit, not after.
Vehicle 2, Winnebago Bolt, 2019 to 2022. Platform, Mercedes-Benz Sprinter 170 extended wheelbase, 3-liter V6 turbo diesel. Used price range, $74,000 to $102,000. Here's where most buyers make a critical error. They see Winnebago and think mass-market RV production. They move on. That is exactly the wrong response to the Bolt. The Bolt runs on the Sprinter 170 extended wheelbase, the longest standard Sprinter configuration available. That extra length delivers livable interior space without exceeding a standard parking stall width. For full-time retiree living, that balance is very difficult to find elsewhere at this price. But here's what separates the Bolt from every other Sprinter conversion in this segment: factory lithium battery integration. Not a retrofitted AGM bank, a converter wired in afterward. Not an aftermarket upgrade. Lithium engineered into the vehicle from the factory. Battery management, inverter, and charging designed as one system. That integration affects daily reliability in ways you will not see at a dealership walkthrough. You feel it at mile 30. And when something does go wrong, one phone call, not two conversations between a chassis dealer and a van builder pointing at each other. Winnebago's service infrastructure owns both problems. That matters more than most buyers realize until they need it. Maintenance reliability. The 3.0-liter V6 diesel is the same proven engine as the Plateau TS. Specific Bolt watch item, the Truma Combi heating and hot water system requires annual descaling in hard water regions. Skip it and you're looking at heat exchanger mineral buildup, $600 to $900 to correct. Schedule it. It's cheap prevention. Biggest hidden cost: the 170 extended wheelbase has a longer turning radius than standard Sprinter builds. This sounds minor. It isn't. Retirees who don't test drive the Bolt in real conditions, tight campground entrances, urban reversing, narrow mountain switchbacks, sometimes discover the handling profile doesn't suit their comfort level. Discover that before you sign, not after you've handed over $90,000. Who should not buy it? Anyone planning regular off-road or rough terrain use. The Bolt is a road-optimized build. Light gravel? Fine. Regular rough terrain? Wrong vehicle entirely. Vehicle 3, Airstream Interstate 24, 2018 to 2022. Platform, Mercedes-Benz Sprinter 170 extended wheelbase. Used price range, $95,000 to $132,000. Stop. Before the price moves you on, hear this math. A new Airstream Interstate 24 Grand Tour leaves the factory at $175,000 to $195,000. A clean 2019 or 2020 unit with under 40,000 miles, available right now in the $105,000 to $118,000 range. That's $60,000 to $75,000 in depreciation that the original owner absorbed. You didn't pay for it, they did. Here's why smart buyers target this window specifically. Airstream builds to a quality threshold the Class B segment rarely reaches. The Interstate 24 is not a converted cargo van with premium aesthetics layered on top. It is a purpose-engineered living system, documented build standards, factory-certified national service, and brand recognition that creates something no other vehicle in this segment can match: a measurable resale floor. Imagine this scenario. You're 2 years into full-time retirement travel. Health circumstances change. The van needs to be sold quickly. An Airstream Interstate 24 sells faster and at a higher percentage of purchase price than virtually any competitor in this segment. That liquidity has real dollar value, and it doesn't appear anywhere on the sticker. Maintenance reliability, strong. Airstream dealers handle interstate service directly, no split accountability between chassis and converter, one relationship, one chain of responsibility. Biggest hidden cost, slide-out mechanisms on Grand Tour trim units. This is where buyers get trapped. Slide motor and rail failures run $2,500 to $5,500. A slide that works perfectly in a showroom can carry wear patterns that predict failure within 6,000 miles. Before purchasing any slide-equipped Interstate 24, get the mechanism independently inspected by a certified RV technician, non-negotiable. Who should not buy it? Buyers planning regular off-road or rough terrain use. The Interstate 24 is engineered to premium road tolerances. Use it on roads and it rewards you for years. Take it off-road regularly and you'll spend money fixing things that were never designed to break that way. Vehicle 4, Coachman Beyond 22C, 2020 to 2023. Platform, Ford Transit 3.5-liter EcoBoost V6 AWD. Used price range $61,000 to $82,000. Here's the intelligent value purchase on this list. Not cheapest, best cost to reliability ratio at this price point in 2026. Here's what most buyers miss about this vehicle. The Beyond 22C runs a gasoline engine in a segment dominated by diesel conversation, and for a specific buyer profile, retirees traveling primarily across the continental U.S., that is exactly the right call. Ford's service network in the United States is the most comprehensive of any van platform in production. No county in the continental U.S. is without immediate access to a Ford-certified technician. Think about what that means practically. You break down in rural Montana. You're not waiting 11 days for a specialist to drive from the nearest city. You're not sleeping in a rest stop while DEF parts ship from a regional warehouse. You're at a Ford dealer, same day. The AWD configuration matters too. Factory-integrated traction management for winter driving, wet mountain passes, and unpaved campground access without the specialized 4x4 service complexity that capability usually requires. And at $65,000 to $75,000 for a clean 2021 or 2022 unit, the Beyond 22C leaves $15,000 to $25,000 in reserve capital compared to the Airstream or Bolt entry points. That reserve is not a luxury, it is the financial buffer that separates a mechanical surprise from a ruined retirement trip. Maintenance reliability. The 3.0-liter V6 EcoBoost has one documented watch item: carbon buildup on intake valves past 60,000 miles, a characteristic of direct injection engines. A preemptive intake valve cleaning runs $400 to $700. Schedule it, ignore it, and throttle response and fuel economy degrade noticeably. Biggest hidden cost, 2020 production year units specifically had inconsistent quality control on freshwater winterization valve placement. Freeze damage to the gray water drain valve housing, $700 to $1,100 to repair. If evaluating any 2020 unit, confirm the winterization system was properly serviced before cold weather storage. Verify it in writing. Who should not buy it? Buyers planning extended European travel. The Ford Transit platform is exceptional domestically. European service density does not match Ducato or Sprinter infrastructure across the continent. For U.S. primary travel, right tool. For cross-Atlantic flexibility, look at Vehicle 5.
Vehicle 5, Malibu Van 600, 2019 to 2022. Platform, Fiat Ducato. 2.2-liter multi-jet turbo diesel, Euro 6e compliant. Used price range, €52,000 to €74,000 European market. U.S. gray market import adds $9,000 to $16,000. For retirees planning full-time European travel or splitting time between continents, this is the most precisely engineered purchase on this list for that use case. Most American buyers have never heard of Malibu. That's a research gap, not a quality gap. Malibu is a Carthago brand. Carthago has been producing premium motorhomes in Germany since 1979. The build standards on the Malibu Van 600 reflect nearly 48 decades of production refinement. This is not a van conversion assembled in a regional shop. This is factory-engineered, purpose-built European travel infrastructure. Here's what makes this vehicle critical for European retirees specifically: low emission zones. Major European cities, Paris, Berlin, Amsterdam, Madrid, now operate LEZ restrictions that exclude pre-Euro 6 vehicles entirely. Imagine planning a 2-week itinerary through France and Germany, then discovering your van cannot legally enter the cities on your route. That scenario is not hypothetical. It is happening to buyers right now who purchased pre-2019 units without verifying emissions compliance. The 2019 to 2022 Malibu Van 600 with Euro 6e certification eliminates that problem entirely. The Ducato platform underpins a significant portion of the European motorhome market. That market share creates parts availability across 34 countries. A breakdown anywhere in Western or Central Europe resolves within driving distance of a qualified technician. That's the service infrastructure retirees need, not the one that exists in theory, the one that functions at 6 p.m. on a Tuesday outside Lyon. Maintenance reliability. The 2.2-liter multi-jet diesel is a proven platform. Watch items: EGR valve carbon accumulation past 70,000 kilometers. Cleaning runs €350 to €600. Timing belt replacement at 120,000 kilometers is non-negotiable. This is an interference engine. A snapped belt at highway speed means catastrophic engine damage, starting at €4,000. The belt service costs €500 to €800. Do not defer it under any circumstances. Biggest hidden cost: U.S. compliance for buyers wanting cross-market flexibility. EPA certification, DOT documentation, and compliance modifications run $9,000 to $16,000. Buyers who discover this after purchase, not before, have absorbed a cost they never saw coming. Budget for it before you commit, not after. Who should not buy it? U.S.-based retirees with no European travel plans. Every advantage this vehicle offers: EU city access, Ducato's service density across Europe, road dimension optimization, is irrelevant on American highways. Vehicles 1 through 4 on this list are better value for domestic travel. Tips: this is where amateurs lose money. Pay attention. Mileage limits. Any diesel platform on this list, do not purchase above 80,000 miles without an independent pre-purchase inspection from a platform-specific diesel specialist, not a general mechanic, a specialist who knows this exact engine. The inspection costs $250 to $450. It has saved buyers $15,000 and more. Spend it every single time. Engine watch items by platform. Sprinter 3.0-liter V6, DEF system components at high mileage, $600 to $1,400. EcoBoost 3.5-liter, intake valve carbon past 60,000 miles, $400 to $700. Ducato 2.2-liter multi-jet, timing belt at 120,000 kilometers, €500 to €800. These are not surprises if you budget for them in advance. Years to target: 2019 to 2022 across all 5 vehicles. Post-update reliability: outside peak depreciation. 2023 and 2024 units are still losing primary value monthly. Let someone else absorb that loss. Budget these costs before you buy. Wheel bearing replacement: $400 to $700 per corner. Slide-out annual service on equipped units: $300 to $600. Roof resealing on any unit stored outdoors: $300 to $600. These are ownership realities. Smart buyers plan for them. Everyone else gets destabilized. Mistake warning: here is the mistake that costs retirees $10,000 to $20,000. Average. They buy the conversion, not the chassis. Here's exactly how it happens. They find a van that looks perfect: beautiful interior, clean appliances, new solar, fresh upholstery. They spend $800 on a professional inspection of the living space. Cabinets, electrical, plumbing, everything checks out. They skip the chassis inspection because the dealer shows them a recent service record.
90 days later, the turbocharger shows heat damage. The DEF system is at critical load. The front suspension has wear the service record never documented. The repair bill arrives at $13,400. One repair, one travel season gone, sometimes more. This happens repeatedly because the campervan market incentivizes sellers to invest in conversion aesthetics, the part you see, and defer mechanical maintenance, the part you can't. The fix is simple: 2 inspections, not 1. Inspection 1, the conversion, living space, electrical, plumbing, roof integrity. Inspection 2, the chassis, by an independent specialist in that exact platform. Sprinter, a Mercedes diesel specialist. Transit EcoBoost, a Ford drivetrain specialist. Ducato, a Stellantis multijet technician. Total cost $600 to $900. Cheapest insurance available in this entire purchase process, no exceptions. The campervan market in 2026 is full of beautiful mistakes. Vans that photograph perfectly and hold together for 18 months before the real costs arrive. Builds on platforms with no service infrastructure where retirees actually travel. Conversions on engines with documented failure patterns the seller never mentioned once. Some retirees spend more fixing the van than using it. That is not a van life problem, it is a buying decision problem. The 5 vehicles in this guide are not the most aesthetically exciting options available. They are the most defensible. Pleasureway Plateau TS, premium build quality on a heavy-duty chassis. Winnebago Bolt, factory integrated systems built for full-time living. Airstream Interstate 24, the only Class B with a provable resale floor. Coachman Beyond 22C, intelligent domestic value with unmatched U.S. service access. Malibu Van 600, the precision purchase for European full-time travel. Buy the platform, not the build. The aesthetics, never. Inspect the chassis independently. Budget the maintenance realities before you commit. Smart buyers do this differently. Now you know exactly how.